So today, what we're going to do is we are going to focus on our low back, but even though we're focusing on the low back, we're still covering a lot of different places and a lot of different areas. And so we're going to begin sitting, um, hopefully a chair without wheels, because we want to make sure the chair doesn't move as we're moving. So like a kitchen chair or dining room chair is great. Um, and then we're going to stand a little bit and we can use the chair for balance if your balance is a little challenging today. And then we're going to, because this is the back care class, we're going to come and lie down sort of the last third of the class. But if you don't feel like lying down, you don't have to. This is your class, not my class. So you don't have to do anything except there is one thing I would like you to do, and that is to keep breathing. And I know it sounds funny, but sometimes we hold our breath and we don't realize we're holding our breath. And and then I want to do one other thing before we get started. I know Dr. Tang asked you all to take a look at how you're feeling today. And one of the practices I like to do, because it's so easy to notice where we have pain. And I'm going to invite you for just a little bit, a few seconds. I want you to notice a part of your body that has no pain at all. And it might be your big toe. It might be, I don't know, one of your thighs. It might be your forehead. So just notice a part of you, your physical body, where you have no pain at all. And if you want to close your eyes, you can close them. You can always leave your eyes open. But just take a look at that pain-free area of your body. Maybe it's your earlobe. It doesn't matter. But sometimes it's so easy to focus on where we have pain. But there's a lot of our bodies that are working great. And as you zero in on that pain-free place, start to watch your breath. So you're not really changing anything. You're just watching your breath. Watch breath go in, watch the breath go out. You might find or notice a little bit more energy when you breathe in, a little more relaxation when you breathe out. Maybe the shoulders relax. Oftentimes our mind begins to wander. So just notice if you wandered and come back, watch your breath. There's a saying that if your mind wanders off 1,000 times, simply bring it back 1,000 times. Beautiful. Now I invite you to take a deep breath in and then let a long breath, maybe like you're blowing out a candle through your lips. Yeah, a nice smooth breath in and a nice long breath out. Yeah, beautiful. And now, if your eyes are closed, feel free to open your eyes, lift your gaze. And I'm going to invite you to come forward on your chair so that you're not leaning back. You're just nice and beautiful posture from your tailbone up to the crown of your head. And notice your breath here. You might notice the chest, the upper chest when you breathe in. You might notice the belly. Yeah. And relax your arms down by your sides and just let them dangle, let them hang and swing them a little bit. And we're going to move with the breath. So on your next inhale, we're going to use that breath and inhale the arms forward and up. It doesn't matter how high. And then as you exhale, float the arms down. Right? Higher's not better. It's whatever's comfortable. Inhale up. Exhale, float down. You're in charge. Follow your breath one more time up. And float the arms down. And bring your hands onto your thighs or your knees, palms down. And now we're going to move with the breath again. I'd like you to slide when you breathe in, slide your hands back towards your body and lift your chest. And as you exhale, slide your hands forward and round your back and look down. So inhaling, we're lifting. Exhaling, we're rounding forward. And these could be small movements or big movements. Move with your breath. Yeah, beautiful. So this is putting our spine through a little movement. You might notice when you lift, the shoulder blades come together. When you round forward, the shoulder blades move apart. The head relaxes. Let's do one more inhale and lift. Exhale, slide forward and round. And then come to neutral. And just take a moment to notice something, anything. What are you noticing? Maybe the breath, maybe some sensations. All right. Now let's take the right hand and hold on to the right side of the chair that you're holding on, that you're sitting on. We're going to take the left arm, and I want to rotate the upper arm so the palm turns out like that. So I didn't turn my hand, I turned my whole arm. And then I'm going to inhale, and if it's comfortable for your shoulder, we're going to lift that arm up and we're going to lean to the right. And if this is uncomfortable for your shoulder, you can bend the elbow and just touch the back of your head and lift the elbow. But if it feels okay to lift the whole arm, you can do that. Breathe, notice how open that whole left side of your body is. Yeah. And then we're just going to turn the top hand and bring it down, and then we'll go to the other side. So we're going to hold on. We're going to rotate that palm out, and we'll go and we'll open up the right side. Notice the breath here. And then let's release that arm down and roll your shoulders. And you can roll in either direction that makes you happy, right? So, yeah. All right, beautiful. Now, again, I'm forward in my seat. My feet are firmly on the floor. Now I'm going to reach back and see if I can find either the sides, the back sides, or maybe even the back of the chair. And then I'm just going to start to lift my chest up. And you might feel that upper chest beautifully open. And you can drop your head back, or you can keep your head lined up with your spine. You don't have to drop your head back unless that's something you like to do. Notice the breath. Where do you feel the breath here? Yeah, beautiful. All right. And then come on forward and let's shake out our arms like loosey-goosey arms, jello arms. That's it. All right. And roll your shoulders. All right. So we're working on kind of releasing tension and building strength to support our low back today. So again, I'm sitting up nice and tall. Let's hold on behind the right knee. Lift the knee and hold on. And then very slowly, you don't have to go too far here, but I might even lean back a little bit. I'm going to lift my right leg forward. So I'm feeling a little stretch behind my right leg, okay? So there are many reasons why we might have an uncomfortable low back. And this is addressing one of them, which is the muscles behind the leg that attach towards the low back. So stretching our hamstring can help with low back pain. All right, let's release that leg down, and then let's do the left leg. So I like to lean back a little bit as I straighten that leg as best I can. Remember that breathing is not an option, so notice your breath. Yeah, beautiful. All right, and then let's rebend that leg and come forward. and sit up nice and tall. All right. Now, hopefully you'll all be able to do this. And if you're sitting on a couch, you still might be able to do it. I'm going to turn towards the right because I want to address another muscle that can affect our low back. So I'm going to face to the right. I've got my outside butt cheek, that's a technical term, off the chair. And I've got my other leg on the chair. And then I'm going to take this outside leg and I'm going to see if I can drop the knee down a little bit like that. And if that feels okay, maybe don't push it. I'm going to bring that leg back a little further. Maybe I come a little further. I want to open up this hip. So farther's not necessarily better, but we're opening up this hip and we're actually stretching a muscle that attaches in the low back, if you can believe that. So notice if you feel that opening there. Again, don't push it. But if you feel a little stretch sensation, that's great. And then we're going to swing that outside arm up. And then we're going to take that arm and we're going to tip over towards the back of the chair. And if lifting the arm bothers you, just bend the elbow and touch the back of your head. So this is giving a little more stretch to that muscle that attaches in your low back. All right, and then let's come back up. So we're sitting up straight now. Oh yeah, that I noticed that a little more stretch in that front leg. Now we're going to bring that leg forward, and then we're going to dance over to the other side. This is a really interesting muscle that we're stretching right now. That's attaches in your back. All right, so here we go. You're in charge. I got my outer cheek off the chair. I'm going to go slowly. I'm going to drop it. I'm going to start here. And if that feels good, great. If you want to come back a little further, that's up to you. And maybe some of us will get to the point where that thigh is pointing straight down towards the floor. Feeling that stretch sensation here. You can hold on to the back of the chair for balance. Yeah. And some of you are diving into this next thing, and that's fine. Let's drop that arm down. We'll lift the arm up. And then we'll just tip over towards the back of the chair. Keep breathing, noticing. You know, sometimes it's just a stretch sensation. If there's any pain, you don't do these things, you back off. Beautiful. And then we'll come back up. And then we'll carefully bring that back leg forward. And then we will turn and face the front. And roll your shoulders. So anything I invite you to do is purely an invitation. So if it doesn't feel right or you don't want to do it, the only thing I ask is to keep breathing. Okay, so let's take a breath here and just notice. Beautiful. All right, now let me show you another muscle that we're going to address here that can also cause some low back pain. All right. So we're gonna tip back and we're gonna hold on either to the front of the knee or behind the knee, whatever's more comfortable, and we're gonna draw that knee up. And now we're gonna take that right knee and I'm gonna gently start to guide it over to the left, but I want to keep my hips level. And you might be feeling something here, you might not. I'm feeling a little sensation in my rear end. We're going to do this again when we come to lie down, and it might be a little more interesting. But I just wanted to warm you up for that. And then we'll release the knee back in and lower the leg. So if anybody has sciatic pain, this muscle could be the reason. Let's lift the left leg up. And then we're going to cross it over. And then back to center. And we're going to release the leg down. Now, this is such an interesting movement for me. Let's take it a little further, but you decide if you can lift the knee and cross gently over the top of the other knee. Right, so I'm barely crossed. Just Now we're going to lift the knee up and then move it towards the left. Oh, that, I don't know about you, but that woke things up for me. But if you can't cross your legs, that's okay. You just repeat the first version and then we'll release and uncross. Take a breath. Let's try the left leg. So I'm going to lift it up and I'm just going to cross it gently over the top of the other knee. Now I'm going to show you if I can draw that top knee closer to my torso, closer to my body, and then I'm going to move it a little bit to the right. This is a muscle that if it's really tight, can cause sciatic pain. Beautiful. And then release and come on down. And let's stomp our feet. And just pretend like a little kid's not watching you. All right. Beautiful. Okay. Now, we're going to sit just for another couple of things. Let me change my camera a little bit. So again, we're sitting on the front edge of the chair so that we can sit up nice and tall. We're going to take our legs on our feet and we're going to press them forward. Still can't see my feet. Okay. And then you're going to flex your toes so that the toes point up towards the ceiling. So I'm like this and I'm holding on to the chair. Okay. And then you can hold on to the chair. Let's take one arm up and we're going to go stop in the name of love. That's what that's called. And then we might take the other arm hand up and go stop in the name of love. And then we're gonna lift up so our back is nice and neutral. This is downward facing dog in a chair. Yeah, beautiful. Keep breathing. Press the hands forward. Flex the feet. Yeah, and then release your arms and let's step the feet back. And then we're going to bring the feet apart a little bit, and then we're just going to switch knees like this. I think this is called the Charleston. And by the way, it's okay to have fun when you're playing with your yoga. All right. Okay, beautiful. Now, I do want to do one more thing sitting in the chair. Let me think about this for a moment. Okay, so we're going to go back over and turn in this direction. And again, I want to sit up tall, right? So I want to avoid slumping. I want to sit up nice and tall. And then we're going to take that outer leg, that rear end is off the chair seat, and I'm going to bring it out and over. Only as far back as is comfortable. You don't have to come very far. Okay. And notice my other leg is right on the chair. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to look forward, but I'm going to turn my chest towards you all. And then I'm going to relax my arms. And again, this is there's two variations here. I can keep my hands in what we call prayer position, or I can bring my arms out to the sides into what's called warrior two. And I'm going to look to the right. If this is bothering your shoulders, we just come to prayer position. So you decide, you're in charge. Yeah, warrior two. Beautiful. Ah. All right. Now, listen very carefully. I'm going to take the left hand and I'm going to tip over and just rest that on my thigh. I'm not going to sink down. I'm going to lift up. I'm going to take my other arm. I'm going to sweep it around and come into what's called side angle. So I'm feeling a lot of stretch along my body here. Beautiful. And then release that top arm down. And let's come back to warrior two. Release the arms. Carefully bring that leg back. And then let's do the other side. And I hope I don't run out of time because I have a lot I want to do today. All right, but let's do this one more, this side, and then we're going to come to stand. So this leg, I'm going to bring it out. Maybe it comes back if that feels okay, but it doesn't have to. It could be out here. I'm going to look to the left. I'm going to either come into prayer position or I'm going to bring my arms up. My chest is facing you guys, but I'm looking over here. Warrior two, very powerful pose. We're going to try this standing in a moment if we have time. And then I'm going to take that front arm and I'm going to relax it here and I'm going to come down and come into side angle. Yeah. And it's okay to even leave that hand down into prayer position if that bothers your shoulder. Okay. That's it. You guys got it. Beautiful. All right. Release that arm down and we'll swing back up into warrior two, channeling your inner warrior. It's there. Beautiful. Release the arms. Come back to center. Take a moment. Take a breath. And let's make our way to standing. So let me show you how I like to stand. Okay. So part of our practice is to be mindful. This is mindful movement. So there's a lot of different ways to stand. And I'm going to show you my technique. I'm going to show you the side view. And a lot of you know this, but we got some new folks today. So again, I'm on the front edge of my chair. I have a nice tall posture. I'm going to slide my heels back a little bit. And I don't want to slide them back so far that my heels are off the ground. I want the heels on the floor. I'm going to tip from my hips. I'm going to hold on to the chair and I'm going to push my feet into the floor and come on up. Beautiful. And that's a great practice, by the way. If you got nothing else, if you're sitting there watching TV, it's hard to do in a couch, but it's nice to practice strengthening our legs. All right, I'm going to take the chair and I want to stand. I got the high side of the chair next to me so that I can use that for balance. Okay. And we're going to come into what we call mountain pose. And I'm going to invite you to channel your inner mountain. Okay. So my feet are about hip distance apart. My knees are soft. Okay. I don't want to lock my knees. I want to keep them a little soft. That allows the prana and the energy to flow, right? We don't want to lock our joints if we can help it. I want the front of the hips nice and soft. My upper chest nice and open, but my upper back is also open. So I want to actually be sending a little energy out to the sides with my shoulders. Take a breath or two in mountain pose. And soften something. Notice if you're maybe gripping someplace or maybe you can let that go. I notice I grip my hips a lot when I come into mountain pose. It's just something I notice. Yeah. All right. Now, we're going to step the feet apart about 3 feet or so. Okay. I got that chair there just it's my security blanket. Let's see. I'd like to have your right side facing the chair. So I'm sorry I didn't warn you about that. And I'm going to take my right foot and I'm going to turn it towards the chair. So my hips just turned when I did that. And then my back foot, I'm going to lift it up onto the toes and I'm going to turn the heel back. Okay. And I'm sending energy down through both legs, very strong energy. And then I'm either going to bring my hands into prayer position or I'm going to bring my arms up and I'm going to bend that front knee. I'm going to push into that back foot as I bend the front knee. And I want my knee over my ankle. I don't want my knee in front of my ankle. I want it over the ankle. And we're coming into what we just did, warrior two. Strong legs. Easy breath. Beautiful. Now release the arms down. Now here's the trick to come out. We're going to straighten the front knee and we're going to parallel our feet together. And then we're going to step our feet together. So again, mindfully coming out, just safe for the knees. Roll your shoulders. Bring the feet apart a little bit. We are going to do the second side in a moment. Now, I'm just going to turn my shoulders from side to side and let my arms swing. And you might notice how your back foot is lifting, and that's good. That's what your body wants. It wants to lift that heel. Yeah, beautiful. All right. I'm sorry. I can see you all, and I love watching you. I just love it. Sorry. It's my thing. All right. You can walk around, or you can move. I'm moving my chair just so I can keep watching you all. And so we can do the second side warrior. Okay. Take a breath in mountain pose. And then we'll step the feet apart about 3 feet or so. Feeling very grounded right now. And my left foot's going to turn out towards the chair. My back heel's going to lift and plant. That's my anchor. And I'm feeling even weight in both feet. And I'm going to bend that front knee forward as I lift my arms. But remember, the knee doesn't go past. This is no, this is yes. Okay. Or behind. You can look over that front hand. You can come into prayer if this bothers your shoulders today. Sometimes I do it. Both ways are good. Beautiful warrior. Yeah. Find that back foot. Push it into the floor. Yes, beautiful. And then release the arms. Straighten the front knee. Parallel your feet. And step your feet together. Mountain pose. And I'm going to turn my chair, but you don't need to. Again, I want to be able to see you all because I love it. Okay. Mountain pose. Take a breath. Notice what's happening. What's happening for you right now? We're all different. Part of our practice is to just notice what's happening without judgment. Just to notice, oh yeah, I'm thinking about this. I'm feeling that. My breath seems to be interesting. All right. Now we're going to turn and we're going to face the back of the chair. I'm going to use the chair for a little balance, okay? So I'm going to touch the chair, and I'm going to step my right foot straight back, and then I'm going to step my left foot straight back. And then I want to see if I can stick my butt back as I straighten my knees a little bit, and I'm going to look straight down at the floor, and I'm going to come into what we call downward facing dog. We did this in the chair. Remember, stop in the name of love? This is the same thing, but we're standing now. And we want to get a long spine. So maybe the ears land between your arms. If you soften your knees and start to move your tail back and the knees start to straighten a little bit, the spine gets longer. Yeah. All right. And then we're going to carefully walk forward towards the back of the chair and come into mountain pose. All right. So I'd like to do a few more things standing before I'm just checking the clock and see how much time we have. So if the down dog on the high back of the chair was pretty good for you, let's try something else. I'm going to turn the chair around so that I have this chair seat facing me. All right. And we're going to come a little lower with our down dog, but I also want to do another thing that we did in the chair. Okay. So let's face the chair seat. And if you're thinking, I don't know about this, then keep the back of the chair towards you. Okay. But if you're thinking, well, I'm game today, maybe I'll give this a try. But if you don't want to do it, don't do it. Okay. So soft knees. I'm going to hinge from my hips. Okay. So my back's not rounding. I hinge from my hips to come forward. I'm going to bring my hands to the chair seat. And if you're already thinking this is too low for me, then I want you to come up and we'll use the back of the chair like we just did. But if you're thinking, this is okay, remember, I got soft knees, so I can bend forward. And then we're going to step the right leg back and the left leg back, and we'll come into that right angle. I'm going to push the chair seat forward as I bring my tailbone back, coming into a little bit of a lower downward facing dog. And if this doesn't work for you, then you come on out. And let's all come on out because I want to do something else. So we're going to walk towards the chair. I'm going to unhinge my hips to come up. So one of the big reason why Westerners in particular have sore backs is because we don't hinge from the hips, we hinge from our waist. And when we hinge from our waist, our back rounds. It doesn't feel good at all. But if I can get, actually, let me show you this because this is really important. So come into mountain pose. I just want to show you how to hinge from your hips if you're not sure. I'm going to take my fingers like this, okay? And what I'm going to do with those fingers is I'm going to put them right in my hip creases, right here where the thighs meet my body. There's this little creases here. I'm going to put them there. Now, I'm going to keep my knees soft. I'm going to push in. And as soon as I do that, I start to hinge forward. That's the hip hinge. My back hasn't changed at all. And then I'm going to unhinge my hips and come up. This is a really safe way to bend over. And I think it's one of the big reasons everybody has a sore low back. Let's try it again. So soft knees. So I'm not locked. I'm soft. I'm going to push in. My hips are hinging. My body's hinging over my legs. And my back hasn't changed. I still have a neutral spine. I have a little curve in my low back. And then we're going to unhinge and come up. So I used to have a sore back all the time, but now I can work in the garden all day and I never have a sore back because I've taught myself how to hinge from my hips. Okay. I want to give you guys a nice time down on the mat. Okay, so let's do this. Step the feet about 3 feet apart. We're going to turn the right toes towards the chair. My back heel is going to lift and plant. Okay. I'm going to bend the front knee forward, not past the ankle. And as I do that, I'm pushing into that back leg so that my shoulders stay over my hips. A lot of times there's a tendency to do that. And I don't want you to do that yet. I just want you to come down and energy into both legs. Okay. Now I'm going to hinge from this front hip and I'm going to start to tip forward and maybe bring my hand to the chair seat. And I want to make sure that knee is not in front of my ankle. I'm going to drop my backhand down. I'm going to bring it forward. We did this in the chair, and then I'm going to lean back a little bit. And I'm sending energy up through my fingers and down through my back heel. Right? Beautiful. Now, push into that front foot. Actually, let's do this. Bring the backhand to your hip. And then we're going to unhinge and come on up. Parallel your feet and bring your feet together. Lower your shoulders. Swing your arms. And let's do the second side. So I'm just turning my chair, right? So I'm going to step my feet apart. I'm going to turn the toes towards the chair. I'm going to turn that back heel back so it grounds. Yeah. And some of you are skipping this, and that's great. Thank you for taking care of yourself. You don't have to do what doesn't feel right for you, okay? I'm going to bend that front knee. I'm going to hinge from this hip and maybe bring my fingertips to the chair, and then I can come into this side angle pose, okay? Beautiful. And then we'll bring the hand to the hip. We'll straighten that front knee, unhinge, and parallel your feet. So getting used to this hinging of the hips is really important for keeping your low back safe and happy. And I'm safe and happy if you do that. Let's do a down dog. You can do it on the chair seat or the back of the chair, or you can just come into mountain pose. We'll just do that momentarily and then come on up. Okay. The nice thing about down dog is it's a very symmetrical pose. And when we do asymmetrical things like we just did, it's nice to finish with some symmetry, meaning balance. All right. Now, this is the back week. So I'm going to invite you to come on down and lie down on the floor if you can on something that, and actually, you know what? Take your chair and have it ready because I'm going to show you a little thing at the end that's really feels good on the low back. Okay. And we're going to use the chair for that. But if you could come on down, lie down, take your time. Take your time. There's no rush. And I like to have a little pillow for my head. So I have a folded blanket. Take your time, right? We're moving mindfully. And like I said, for me, I like to have a little blanket under the back of my head, a little pillow, very low pillow. So start with your knees bent and your feet on the floor. Notice your breath. And we're going to lift both knees, one knee at a time. Lift one knee and then the other. And you can hold on either behind the knees or in front of the knees. And we're going to draw the knees up a little higher. And then we're going to rock from side to side gently. You might feel a little massage happening in your low back. Just going to rock gently from side to side. Okay. Now, keep the right knee lifted and bring your left foot to the floor. And then we're going to hold on to the right knee, either behind the knee or in front of the knee, your choice. And then the left leg is going to go long on the floor. Sorry, my chair is in the way. And I'm going to press into that left heel. And then I'm going to gently draw the right knee towards my head. This is a really good release for any low back pain, but you're not pushing, right? You're just going to a place that feels safe. Keep the left foot toes towards the sky. Draw the right knee in. Beautiful. And now we're going to relax the left leg and bring that up and switch hands. So we're holding on to the left knee now. Right foot comes to the floor and we're going to slide that heel long on the floor and press through the heel. We're doing the same thing on the other side. Draw the left knee up a little higher. Press the right heel forward along the floor. Breathing. All right. And then we're going to lift the right knee up and we're going to hold on to both knees. So I got my right hand on the right knee, left hand on the left knee. And we're going to start to circle the knees. And they could be small circles or big circles or medium circles. We're just circling around the knees. This is another great way to release tension in the low back. And then circle in the other direction. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Now bring both feet to the floor, one foot at a time. So my knees are bent. This is called constructive rest. Okay, now that thing we did earlier sitting in the chair, let's try it on the floor. So we're going to lift the right knee up, and then we're just going to cross the right lower leg over the top of the left knee. It's very loose. We're not doing figure four. Okay. Now keep your left foot on the floor. Hold on behind or in front of the right knee and start to lift the right knee up towards your chest. And I'm already getting some sensation just by doing this. So this might be enough. But if you want a little more, guide the right knee a little to the left. It might only move half an inch or an inch. And if you're feeling that sensation in your rear end, that's a muscle that can cause us to have sciatic pain. All right, release the right knee back to the right. Let the arms relax and uncross your legs. With both feet on the floor and the knees bent, rock your knees from side to side. Nice. All right, back to center. Let's do the left leg. So we're going to draw the left knee up, holding on in front or behind, and we're going to cross the left lower leg over the right knee. Just even here, I'm starting to feel that sensation. If you want to, draw the left knee up a little higher. And if you want a little more action, gently guide the left knee over to the right. Keep breathing. So if you're feeling a lot of sensation, back off. Keep breathing. Beautiful. And now let's let the left knee go back to the left. Let it go forward. And then uncross your legs, both feet on the floor, knees bent. Rock your knees from side to side. All right, beautiful. Now, so let's keep the knees bent and the feet on the floor. If you do have a little pillow under your head, slip it off to the side for a moment. So the back of the head is on the floor. And I'd like you to bring your heels a little closer to your tailbone. And make sure that your knees are pointing straight up, and make sure that your nose is pointing straight up. So I know some of you want to look at me, but I want you to not look at me. I want you to listen to me and bring the back of your bend your elbows so that your palms are facing each other and your fingers are pointing towards the ceiling. And please, I want you to keep your nose pointed towards the ceiling and just try this. Press into your feet and see if you can lift your hips up off the floor a little bit. The knees are going to move forward. Don't turn your head, please. And then come straight down. So we're just lifting the hips. Use the back of the arms. Press the arms into the floor. Lift your hips up and down. And one more time. Let's go up and down. Yeah. If you were using a little pillow under your head, bring it back in. And now we're going to lift both knees up. Hold on with your hands. And we're going to make those circles with the knees. And then circle the other way, other direction. Yeah, beautiful. Now bring your feet to the floor. And this time we're going to walk the feet forward a little bit. And then we're going to bring the feet, we're going to crawl them out to the sides a little bit. So the feet and the knees are very wide. And then we're going to start to rock the knees gently from side to side. You might notice you go to the outer edge of one foot, inner edge of the other foot. Just notice that. And let's try this, but I want you to be very careful and make sure this feels okay. Let's drop the knees to the left and just let them go wherever they go. The floor is not the goal. And maybe the right arm comes off to the right. So there should be no tension in your low back here. If there is, you're going to come back to the center. But let's do that. Let's bring the knees up and drop them over to the right. And then we're going to come back to center with the knees. One last time, we're going to lift the knees up. Hold on with your hands. Draw the knees up a little higher. Beautiful. And then 1 foot at a time, bring your feet down. Now, roll to one side and press yourself up so you can see me, okay? Because I want to show you something that you can do if you have a couch or a chair, but we all have chairs today. So I want to show you this. This is a great way to release any tension in your low back, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm pretty close to my chair, sitting down, and I'm going to swing myself down and I'm going to bring my calf muscles. This is a cold chair. Hopefully you don't have a cold chair. You can do this with a couch. And I'm going to lie down with my lower legs supported on that chair. And oh my goodness. In yoga, we have a name for this. It's called instant Maui. And I know, I mean, if you've ever been to Maui, it's just so relaxing, right? So if you want to try this, you can. If you don't want to try it, then you're just going to lie flat on the floor, okay, in what we call a deep relaxation. So if you don't want to use the chair or couch, you're just going to lie down and let everything go. And if you want to sit in a chair and do this, you can do that too. You're just going to let everything go. Whatever's not serving you, you're going to find a place where you can deeply relax. And we're going to start with the breath. You're just going to watch your breath. Now you can bliss out if you feel like it, if you're relaxed enough, or if you want to listen to me, I'm going to invite you to try something. But if you've had enough and you don't want to do it, you don't have to. You're in charge. This is your practice. But if you want to try something with me, here's what I'm inviting you to try. Notice your natural breath. You're not changing anything, just your natural breath. Now, I invite you to count your inhale, and it doesn't matter what the number is. So you might count 1, 2, you might count 1, 2, 3. We're all different, but I'd like you to count your inhale. Keep breathing, just count the inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, doesn't matter. And I'd like you to see if you can make your exhale the same count. So if you're counting 1, 2, 3, then you're going to exhale 1, 2, 3. Or maybe you're counting to 4, or maybe 2 or 5. Just your natural breath. Count your inhale in and see if you can make your exhale the same count. And if you're sitting, you can do the same exercise. And now I invite you, if you're doing the counting, to let go of the counting. Just stop counting. And just relax. Natural breath. No doing. Just be. If you wander off, just notice you wandered off and come back. Just be. Many folks say that for them, this is the hardest part of the practice. But remember, this is just a practice. It's not a perfect. We're just practicing. Now, if you are lying on the floor, everyone, twinkle your fingers, twinkle your toes, make some circles with your ankles and your wrists. We're starting to slowly wake up our body with larger movements. Maybe the arms and the legs start to move, stretch. If you're on the floor, bring your knees up again and draw the knees up high. And now, if you are on the floor and you want to stay on the floor, please feel free to stay there. If you're ready to move, then you're going to roll to one side and use the strength of that top hand pressing into the floor, and slowly, gently use your arms, guide yourself up. And either take a nice, comfortable seat on the floor or come on up and sit in a chair or on a couch, whatever works for you. Yeah. Now I invite you to do the following. You can have your eyes closed or open, it's up to you. But I invite you to acknowledge to yourself one thing that you are grateful for today. One thing that you're grateful for. It could be your favorite color. It doesn't have to be a big deal. What are you grateful for today? And now bring your hands together in front of your heart. Take a moment to notice your breath. May this practice not only support us, but all beings everywhere. Thank you so much for practicing today. Namaste.